Diddy's sons are reportedly concerned about the consequences of their father's actions and may be thinking about speaking out to protect themselves. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, hinted that they might reveal information about him. Recently, King Combs, one of Diddy's sons, released a track addressing several individuals, including 50 Cent and, surprisingly, his own father.
And his dad, like, how you feel about that record?
Well, first, I want to say to this young man, before somebody take his head off, because see, that's that new school bull crap that these kids out here, they easy to fly out their mouth with that. You don't invite a man to your private. You don't invite a man to your private unless you doing the Diddy. If two men lay down, how many homos get up? Let me tell you, young man, 2 of them. You understand? So don't invite a man to your private because that man will see you and take your head off.
Gene Deal began by cautioning King Combs, stressing that targeting someone like 50 Cent in a diss track could lead to significant repercussions.
You don't send or let a boy do a man's job. I don't know if he need that type of attention or he want that type of attention. Evidently he do. But 50 is the wrong dude that you want to do that type of attention, get that kind of attention from, bro. And the infamous words of Waka Flocka, that go hard in the paint. And I don't believe that this cat would even put out some trash like that and really didn't know what he was doing. He's teasing the federal government. And I told y'all, the Southern District of New York do not play. So King Kong just put another battery in their back. And you see after he did that, something get leaked to the press. Do you notice that, right? As soon as he did that dumb talking about, well, we did this and we did that. We had this over here. Y'all went to the wrong house. Some went to, he said, well, we're going to show you how wrong we are. Yo, CNN, run this. Action, roll them. Don't play with the feds, bro. Because you got to realize this. They got a lot of time. All they got to do it,
Gene Deal issued a strong warning to King Combs, advising that challenging someone of 50 Cent's stature is a daring but risky move. He referred to it as a high-stakes game for the younger generation, one that could lead to serious consequences. Gene also suggested that King's recent actions might be connected to the wave of media reports, including rumors about a federal raid that allegedly missed a property linked to Diddy.
Comments saying that, they forgot to raid the house next door that his dad owned. Yeah, man, he was walling out.
Yeah, I think he was just bullshit. I don't believe he bought the house next door. Because let me just tell you something. If anything or any name that had to do with Bad Boy, the federal government going to run that. They know all the properties Diddy have. They wasn't even talking about the raid that they did in New York. But they did a raid in New York too.
Yeah, I ain't hear about that raid. I only heard about the LA and Miami raid. But you feel like the feds, they released that video over King Combs' comments.
Oh man, I've worked in law enforcement for 27 years. And I had the opportunity to see HIDA. It's a place, whereas they have the state, the feds, NYPD, the Department of Corrections, and the state police. Yo, this place could be half of a basketball court. That's where they just got lines of computers with officers of all different people and officers just on the internet. Whoever's over that case, whoever's working that case, don't you know they saw that and took it to their boss You might think it's petty, but it's not. You do not agitate.
A video allegedly showing Diddy involved in a confrontation with Cassie has stirred significant controversy. Following Diddy's appearance in Manhattan federal court, his son, Christian King Combs, arrived with a group requesting copies of Diddy's indictment. Unsealed on September 17, the indictment charges Diddy with racketeering conspiracy and related offenses.
Sealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction.
Seated in an orange chair, King Combs and his group silently reviewed the 14-page indictment outlining the serious charges against Diddy. The document accuses him of organizing and participating in controversial events, some of which were allegedly recorded.
This all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash.
Federal authorities disclosed that in March, they seized narcotics and over 1,000 bottles of various items from Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles, allegedly connected to controversial events. This followed an April lawsuit in which both Diddy and King were named in a case filed by Grace Mark in Los Angeles Superior Court, adding to the mounting allegations.
It's the arrest and indictment of Sean Diddy Combs on federal sex racketeering charges. But now that includes the woman behind a lawsuit against his son, Christian Combs. So Sean Combs was indicted in federal court last week. He's going to be going up against the formidable prosecutors of the Southern District of New York. And until then, he's locked up at what's called the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. And this is a jail which has housed other celebrity inmates at times. It's been plagued with issues like unsanitary conditions, fights between inmates. There's a status conference for his case scheduled for October 10th. But as Combs now faces these criminal charges, there is a separate legal team that is dealing with the multiple civil lawsuits that are pending against him. And one of those complaints was filed by a woman named Grace O'Markey. So O'Markey was apparently a steward working aboard a yacht that was rented by Sean Combs in December of 2022 for a holiday celebration with his family, when she claims she was sexually assaulted by Christian Combs. And within weeks of Sean Combs' homes being raided back in March by federal agents, O'Markey filed a civil complaint against Christian and named his father, Sean Combs, in the suit as well for allegedly facilitating this to occur.
A defendant in the criminal case, it certainly does add to context. And so now I could see now on the defense side them wanting to do something akin to a bill of particulars where they want to get more information from how actually the prosecution intends to prove this case, because they've left it so open that pretty much any of those bad acts could.
And so you're kind of laying the groundwork for how possibly Grace O'Markey could testify in a federal case, but there's a lot of things that need to happen before that. So I want to talk a little bit more about this. So we have Christian King Combs, 26-year-old model rapper, third oldest son of Sean Combs, who's one of 3 children that Combs shares with the late model Kim Porter. She died in 2018. And we go back to the raids that happened in Los Angeles and Miami back in March. Combs' sons, specifically in LA, Christian and Justin, they were handcuffed and they were led out of the home as investigators from Homeland Security went in to collect the evidence. 30-year-old Justin is Combs' oldest biological son, who he had with a fashion designer named Nisa Hilton. And Justin's mother shared a video from the Los Angeles raid on her Instagram page, and the footage, which appears to come from security cameras around the home, has been edited and sped up in places. And she writes, quote, "The overzealous and overtly militarized force used against my sons Justin and Christian is deplorable. If these were the sons of a non-black celebrity, they would not have been handled with the same aggression." Christian, by the way, celebrated his birthday 1 week after the raids, posting photos of his lavish celebrations on his Instagram story. And he also posted this to his story: "Stop with the blue cap emoji." Cap is slang for lying. And then on April 4th, Grace O'Markey filed.
If Diddy's sons are indeed distancing themselves from him, it could strengthen the case against him, marking a significant and perhaps inevitable turning point in his life.
Cause a death statistically in the prison system. In order for him to get on watch, he just can't say, "I'm gonna commit suicide." You know, that helps, but he has to go through he has to have a psych evaluation. He has to, the correction officer, they had to monitor him and see what he has, we've been doing. Has he been crying all night? Those are some of the criterias. Saying that you're going to commit suicide, crying all night, doing some kind of self-mutilation, or trying to harm yourself, because everybody think of you were on suicide watch, you're in a good situation. Once they put you in suicide watch, bruh, you got to go to a cell, like a padded cell, by yourself with very little or no clothes on. You understand what I'm saying? So that suicide watch, when I heard it, it didn't, I wasn't surprised. Somebody who lived in mansions, travel all over the world, somebody who could go into any hotel, have any and everything at his beck and call. Now he's in a room that's a 10 by 10, if that, a cell. Bruh, if he was going to commit suicide and he was on the outside doing those city college days, just imagine what he's going to do or try to do while he's in prison and he don't have his cell phone. He don't have no maids. You understand? He better hope that they want to make a deal, but I don't think so. Or they want somebody else. He better hope. And he got something to offer them. Even if he got something to offer him, you got to realize, bruh, like, you got kingpins, you got drug dealers, you got people who make deals, there's murders and killers. They make a deal and they still get 25, 30 years in the feds. He's about 55 years old. If he do 15 years, that's 70 years. When he come out, he's 70 years old. He may not want to live like that. And then what he coming out to at 70 years old? He'll still have probably a little money to do something, but not.
Reports suggest Diddy is under mental health observation amid concerns for his well-being. According to People magazine, he's being monitored to ensure his safety while awaiting trial. Gene Deal speculates that Diddy might attempt to shift focus onto a major celebrity as a defensive strategy, fearing that without such a move, he could struggle with despair while facing the challenges of his legal situation.
Parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my party. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. Whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizon, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it. It ain't nothing but break it down racial barriers, break it down generation barriers. People from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z. Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on, It's
A 1999 interview with Diddy has resurfaced, bringing attention to an eerie prediction he made about his future. In the Entertainment Tonight segment, He was asked about his iconic white party invitations, sparking renewed interest in his past remarks.
We do. We need a victim to come out and be honest about him, because what I'm realizing is that he's going to fake the funk until the victim. He's just going to keep on sucking the devil's. And I don't know, like with a baby, that pacifier, sometimes you got to pull it out. You know what I'm saying? And take it away. Right? When the baby's used to sucking on the pacifier. That motherfucker going to keep sucking on that shit until you do what? Till you take it out the mouth. Now it's going to scream and holler, but eventually it will get used to the fact that his mouth is no longer full with that object. And that it's time to just, learn how to live without it. He's been sucking on Diddy's dick a long time. It's time for him to learn how to make this thing happen without the devil's dick in his mouth or ass.
You don't think if he sued, he'll just Lil Woody the situation and I don't recall? I don't recall.
No, because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious it is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there. Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management.
A 2002 interview with Diddy has resurfaced, where he shared his key tips for hosting an unforgettable party.
On the dark net to the highest bidder. Why would he sell evidence of his debauchery and savagery? Why would he sell on the dark net his tapes of just terrible? Wanna know why? Because he doesn't intend to stand trial.
Is he protecting people or are people protecting him?
Oh no, he's selling it because he needs the cash. The last freak off tape that just got sold on the dark net, which I know
of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs. Electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches.